danger. Hello, hello, hello. Who do we have out there in the void of space tonight for a very special live stream? That's right, we're back, and I am joined by Aaron and Marek. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, everybody.
And I say it's honestly great to be back, guys. Obviously, I'm just looking. My music stopped. I'll look in that in a second. It suddenly cut out. Actually, hold on. Let me just play this.
Well, we've got a very exciting update for them, haven't we, today?
We do.
Core systems. Some real improvements, some real quality of life improvements here.
And I know there's been some teasers made about it, but in general, this is a very exciting, month for space engineers. I'm talking Space Engineers 1 and 2. But today's update for Space Engineers, there's some really, really nice stuff. As always, I mean, you guys shouldn't be too surprised about that. But we'll get to the update pretty quick here. But I do want to check in with Marek. And how have you been, Marek, the last kind of month? Obviously, I know you guys did the anniversary stream, and I wasn't here. But how's the last month been of development at Keen Software House?
Yeah, pretty good. I think really going fast after our goals. So finalizing this SE1 update, the core systems, which is handled by the SE1 team. That was one thing. The other was, of course, VS2 for SE2. And by the way, yesterday we were at the concert in Rudolfinum, where they played the music from Space Engineers. So we were there with Karel Antonín, our composer, and a bunch of other people. So that was quite amazing.
It was beautiful.
So I think everything is going well and basically converging to today update and to the update that we will have next Monday.
No, I mean, I wasn't there. I know you guys are there, but I watched the video and it was incredible. And I think for Carol to see that, to be in that room, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but I know the guys are going to post about it. But if Vashek's there and wants to drop a link in the chat right now, that would be great, because it was definitely a very an amazing event to take place, and the music is just stunning.
I see there's nothing quite like it when you hear the instruments in person and you see the conductor conducting both the orchestra and the choir above. It was beautiful. But we have also already released like a sneak preview behind the scenes of the music for Space Engineers, so that's something you can check out right away.
So yeah, that'll be, you'll see more of that, I think, but it was very, very cool. And I'm just looking over here, like, in general, just great to see everyone here today. There's a lot of people watching. We were saying in the intro, like, it was amazing to see the whole community turn up for today's stream. But just to kind of give you a brief overview of what you can expect today. So this release, it's all about, as Aaron already said, improving the core gameplay experience. So there's going to be long time requested quality of life fixes, streamlining some of the things that came in the last update in Apex Survival. But there's going to be basic joystick support for Steam, a whole new batch of set value actions for toolbar automation.
Oh, yes.
And a massive amount of bug fixes, 188 to be precise, and a lot more than that. And we're going to get into it very shortly.
Get some details for you, but this is a great quality of life improvement. It's perfect. This, like Joel said, then there's so many bug fixes. We're going to wheel some of them out, and you're going to be really pleasantly surprised with some of the things that we've fixed.
And, I think one thing that we'll say is, before we get into the update, I think the last thing we'll say is that, just a massive shout out to the community and the team for doing amazing work on both Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2. And just the community, we've seen so many amazing builds and also important feedback left for both games. And, we're now approaching nearly 1 year of early access for Space Engineers 2. And of course, next Monday, we have the release of VS2, Planets, and Survival Foundations on December 1st, the same time. So definitely tune into that stream. We back, I think the three of us will be back here, but that is going to be, huge. I actually want to say, let's just for a quick hype rating. How hyped are you guys for VS2? Give me out of 10. And I think we're not going to cover too much SE2 today, because again, we have a whole stream next week.
We're going to behave ourselves.
We're going to behave ourselves a little bit.
But I know there is so much hype out there, and I know a lot of you are like, "Oh, there's so many teasers coming out, and we're going to have previews for you." There's so much exciting things to see as well, and you're also going to have a lot of systems to learn. But let's not touch on it anymore. We'll save that
for the next one. That's all good. Now, and I think this. Oh, I've just lost my mouse. The one thing is that it's important to, again, remind the community that, of course, we're continuing to push forward both games in parallel here. We have a team for SE1, a team for SE2, and they both have their own roadmaps, and there's more features obviously coming for both here. So the teams are doing great work on that. So I wanted to just remind the whole community about this one. And then before we have this, I also want to make a reminder about the music contest, Aaron. You want to touch on that?
Yeah, of
it
course.
ends today, doesn't it?
So the music competition for Space Engineers 2 is ending today. So if you have got something you have been working on, this is your last chance to submit it. Now, I believe we've had over 200 entries, and there's been some flying in pretty much right up to the finishing line here. So if you've got something that you really like, you built it, don't miss the chance. Get it submitted, and then you'll be seeing it in game.
Have you managed to hear any of them yet, Marek? I know we're going to be, So we're definitely, I think all of us are going to be listening to those very hard.
We're going to have a big preview session. We're going to be listening to them. But some of the tracks that we've had in the past, like for Space Engineers 1, were incredible. And some of the sneak peeks that I've heard of this music, wow.
It always is my favorite contest. So very much looking forward to getting on with kind of voting. It's always really hard to get those final winners there, but we have to do it. So stay tuned for that, and there will be the stream for that also in December. So coming on for today's stream, we're just going to quickly go over the key points, but we're going to get into it much deeper with Ryan shortly after we release this update. So I know, Marek, if you want to just kind of cover some of the things that players can expect today.
We can obviously do it together as well.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so streamlined planting and harvesting, so basically speeding up the farming. Joystick support, which has been wanted by players for a long time. Then core gameplay polish, projector, build planner, pistons, inventory, respawn fixes. And I think the one that many people will like is new free bed. So new free bed block for better early game survival. So we are listening to what the community is saying, what they want, and because until now the bed was only available in the DLCs, this is a free bed, so everybody who has Space Engineers will be able to sleep on this beautiful, beautiful free bed.
So like Marek said there, you can sleep safely tonight knowing you have a free bed.
No, it was a big request. It was
really
request.
important because we want to make sure that we're listening to you guys, and then we are taking action. We're not just saying we're going to sort something out. So there is a free bed. So if you are getting hungry and you need to sleep, you have a place where you can, rest your head.
So we're at the free bed. So
then a massive expansion of set value toolbar actions across common blocks, and the last one is the core system pack DLC with beautiful cosmetic additions. So,
and they really are amazing.
Yeah.
I think we will show the picture, right?
Yeah,
at some point.
We will. Yeah,
and it's really beautiful. Like I like it so much. And the guys actually asked me that I should pick one block that I like the most from the DLC, and I cannot pick. I think there are many that I really like the rounded blocks or the thrusters. Or the doors, because I think there is something fascinating about doors always, right? Like how
satisfying.
How they move and open, close, and it's, as you're saying, like it's very satisfying. But if I have to pick one, I think it would be the thrusters, because they just look so aggressive.
All right,
so bad.
That's it.
Yeah, they are absolutely stunning. And it's funny you mentioned about the doors, because again, that was when SE2 came out, one of the first things was like the people wanted the doors to close. I mean, it's fine now, but I love that was one of the first things that people wanted, the satisfaction of that mechanism, So, and a little bit just looking ahead, because obviously we have you guys all here now. I know when the update drops, we're going to jump into the game. So just looking ahead briefly and summarizing what's gone on these last years. So the team has nearly reworked, every aspect of PvE. We've had Prototech, Factorum, global and planetary encounters in the Contact DLC. There was cargo ships and unknown signals in Fieldwork, and then food, hazards, and space encounters in Apex Survival. So the final piece, you might know, what is it? Well, it's coming. It's going to be economy stations and missions coming in 209. This next step will expand the universe with new opportunities for exploration and trade. And oh boy, the team is very hard. Even we talk about working in parallel, right? And even the SE1 team has been working on 208 and 209. There's 209 is already well into kind of production here. So stay tuned for 209.
It'll be a big one, a real big one.
And then just finally here, guys, we just have a few kind of call to actions today, and I'll hand it to Aaron to start this off here.
I can do. So the first thing that I think is really important to talk about. Oh, is this the trailer section?
No, this is we're on.
Oh yeah, so there we go. So what we want you to do really, guys, is try out these new blocks in your build. That's the crucial thing that we want you to engage with, and we want you to use the hashtag Space Engineers when you're trying out these things. So we're doing Space Engineers, we're doing when you've got them cockpits, when you're building these new constructions, you're using that projector. When you're maybe, for instance, if you get a shot with your joystick and you're piloting a ship and you've got it all configured, then let's see it. Let's see how you're flying. If you've got in your living room a fully, configured spaceship and you're flying around with the new joystick setup, let's see it. Because I know there's some really advanced joystick users out there. And of course, join us on our Discord. There's plenty of players out there who, are looking for friends, looking for people to engage with. Play, so get on the Discord there. And if there is any feedback, any problems with this update or across VS, obviously for Space Engineers 2 and Space Engineers 1, get stuck in there as well. So thank you very much. But at the same time, check out Marek's Dev Diaries. Marek's Dev Diaries are full of sneaky little bits of information. And when I turn them into video form as well, I also sneak in some extra footage. Ooh. So check out the video form, but also head over to the blog and make sure you subscribe to Marek's blog for the best details.
I've been saying it for the last year, but I still stand by there's never been a better time to be a space engineer, both in terms of the game, what it is right now, what's coming, but also just the general information. Like there's I hope you guys, feel this as well. I mean, I'm a bit biased, right? But the amount of information that the team releases, for both games on a weekly, monthly basis is awesome. And I think it's definitely been great to read the feedback as well. And I know, on Marek's blog, there's always amazing, really, really great kind of thoughtful comments that Marek checks out, that the team checks out. So I think
that's it. We really want to engage with you, and we want to hear what you're worried about, what you're excited about. So then we can put that feedback back towards the team. So we're there, like with our antennas up, trying to pick up whatever is coming back. Like with these beds, for instance, we heard it was an issue. We reported it back to the team, and they put it into action and made sure it was sorted out. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I think with that note, that was all the things that we had initially to go over. Unless there's anything else you guys want to do here before we play the trailer. What do you reckon? Anything else? Any other thoughts here?
Tease them any longer.
Tease them any longer, yeah.
No, I don't think we can. We can't tease them any longer, can we?
Well, also just to give a heads up what's coming with the rest of the stream, guys. We're going to obviously release the release very shortly here. Then we're going to dive into covering all the features and fixes and everything that was included in the update. And then there will be a time for Q&A as well. We'll definitely take any questions that there are, ideally about today's update, but of course, SE1 in general, maybe a few SE2 questions we can squeeze in there. And yes, that's all that's to come still on today's stream. But without any further ado, let's see. Marek, is it time to play the trailer?
Yes, let's play the trailer.
All right, let's see some hype in the chat. We've got another beautiful trailer made again by the very talented Janusz coming right up. Let us go. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And there we have it, guys. What do we think of that? Amazing.
Wow. And there is one thing I want to add here as well, is remember, guys, the Steam Awards are back. And SE1, the Labour of Love. Space Engineers 2, the best soundtrack. You know, if you want to vote for us there, head on over to Steam, help us out.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just juggling a few things here. And we're going to welcome to the stream Ryan. Ryan, are you with us?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm here.
Wow. What a release. What a trailer. That got me really hyped. Those mechanisms, those beautiful new blocks. And we're going to dive into it right away. But I just want to get a quick vibe check, Ryan. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about the core systems being here today?
I'm just so stoked that we're back already. Like, I feel like we were just here, but we have such, like, in a short amount of time, we have such a robust update for everybody. And just watching the chat fly by during that trailer, man, I'm on cloud 9 right now. This is awesome.
That's the way it should be. So, I guess, so we can get into it here, we are going to get deep into it. Marek, would you care to do the honors?
Yes. So unleash the release.
Every time. Let's unleash it. Let's go. Let's get those downloads sending. All right. And I think, the core systems pack, it should be appearing on your favorite store very shortly here on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. So let's have a look. One word, guys, to describe describe today's release and the trailer you just watched. Let's see it. I see a lot of hype in the chat. Let's go.
So I was going to mention as well, like, if you guys want to help support Space Engineers and its development, these DLC packs are a great way of doing it. So picking up one of these DLC packs helps continue development of Space Engineers, and of course it keeps us going for the future. So thank you very much, guys, for your support, and we hope that you're picking it up.
Oh, definitely. And that's obviously for Space Engineers in general, like all of this, it's obviously, I think, we talked about it before the stream, Marek, but this is both for Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2. So it's, your support means a lot to us, and it keeps on letting us do cool stuff. So thank you guys so much. Say, Ryan, I touched on the kind of core things of today's update, and we're going to go into detail here. I also touched a little bit on what's coming next. So could you just give us like a rough idea of what was the main thinking behind this update, and just the general planning, like what was the thinking about doing the core systems update, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to, like, just off the tail of Apex Survival, to give players a smoother experience. Like, we saw immediately the feedback on various things, especially the farming, and we wanted to make sure that we got those things into action sooner rather than later. And we wanted to really focus on when we focus on those big content updates, it's difficult to allocate resources for bug fixes. So for today, like, we have 188 bug fixes for you guys. We want to make sure that the experience is smooth and that you have what you need. So really just listening to the players, making sure it was a smooth experience, and leading into next year when we get into our next updates, that we have a good foundation and a solid framework for what we're moving forward with.
100%. Yeah. Perfectly put. And I say that is a big part, is we've done updates like this in the past where they've really focused both on improving existing parts of the game, but also we always listen to what the players are saying, but like even more so than ever, like looking at these top requested things. And we're going to get into it right away here. I'm actually going to pull the blog post up and we're going to go through this, and then we've also got the world from the trailer prepared, so we're going to jump into that amazing and we actually, Aaron, we should probably give a shout out as well, because I think people saw that door, right? Yeah.
A shout out to Apologies.
You know it. Apologies. Big shout out.
Wow.
The very...
We're talking about doors today. We seem to love our doors, don't we? Doors in Space Engineers seem to be some sort of like fascination.
So I'm just going to bring this up as well. And just so we make sure we go through everything here, because there was some teasers around this update, but also there's some things you guys might not have be aware of yet. So I'm going to jump into this. And also, in the meantime, I'm seeing a lot of people have bought the pack already, guys. Give me an 07 in the chat if you've already picked up the core systems pack. That's wild.
Just before we were chatting about this, Ryan, briefly with you, we were talking about how there's a lot of setting options that the players have now got their hands on. And these are not necessarily visual. These are, more abilities, more things you can do. Would you want to explain that as we bring things up?
Yeah, I mean, as the set value actions are not anything new, but there's a lot of support for them. The players tend to really enjoy them. They utilize them really well, and we see them as a way to really empower creativity and let people build how they want and automate how they want. And it's important to us to keep getting those things in. So we've been watching support site tickets, we've been looking at YouTube comments, we've been taking every email that we've gotten, and we've compiled a large list of things, and we just keep chipping away at it more and more. And I think the ones that we have today are really great for a lot of creative options. So we're just pushing forward on that as much as we can.
Because the first thing that I think we should jump into as well here is a little bit about the streamlining of farming, because farming is one of them things that where players wanted to be able to do it quicker. And can we go into a little bit of detail about that and
Yeah, I think
what was proposed and what was thought about it?
Well, I mean, obviously, immediately we've as soon as an update drops, we're always watching what players are doing. Like our team, especially the designers, are sitting like just fixated on streamers and watching people on YouTube and seeing what everybody's doing, and we're very intently listening to everything that's going on. And it was very obvious from the very beginning that like players wanted to build very large farms, bigger than we anticipated, which also means it's a lot more time intensive. And so we needed to do this. We needed to give players a smoother experience where they can really build as big as they want, as much as they want, and support that system. So getting into that streamlining of it, it's a much more chill experience now. You can just kind of go around, single click on planting and harvesting. You can add seeds to your toolbar. It's a lot better of a system in general.
Yeah.
And hopefully it gets the players exactly what they were hoping for and what they wanted from farming in the first place.
Yeah, that was. I mean, everyone loved farming, but it was probably it was one of those day one feedbacks, and we kind of half expected it, right? And obviously we saw that, and almost immediately the guys were like, okay, let's look into this and how we can streamline this. So that was good to have. I'm just going back slightly because the order is slightly different here, but yeah, up top the first thing we had on the list, because at the very top here, the free bed, of course. So
it looks so comfy, that bed, doesn't it?
It does.
But remember, unlike the other beds, there is nothing holding you in there. So.
Maybe some it's got a little grav gen inside.
Comes with safety issues.
Yeah, no barrel rolls, right? While I'm taking a nap.
So yeah, this was obviously one of the hotly requested things. So we had to have this at the top here. But enjoy the bed, guys, and beds for all now. So we're just going to go through this here. So we talked about the faster planting and harvesting. Next up, we have the Steam joystick support. So take it away, Ryan, because obviously it's very exciting that we have this, but also there's more to come. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a feature that's been requested for probably a better part of a decade.
Yeah, Merrick will probably remember, right? Joystick support. Yeah, it's been.
Yeah. And I know not everybody has a joystick, but maybe this will be something cool that you can experiment with, and maybe you'll go pick one up. But this is the initial implementation. It's worth noting that we're going to be expanding it some more in our next update and ensuring that we have key bindings and stuff coming for joysticks. But it's just a cool feature. It's a very fun, very smooth experience to actually fly around with a joystick. So I hope you guys will stream that and show that, because we'd love to see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I think, as I say, already you guys can jump into this, and I think when it comes to in the future, you'll be able to have even crazier joystick setups. So
there's a question that's popping to mind here. Obviously, there's not steering wheel support, or is it general controller support, right? Like, what sort of support level are we offering here with the joysticks?
Joystick is technically an extension of a controller support. So yeah, while it's still rough right now, not rough, but it's the basic implementation. Having that customization feature coming next will be a lot more robust because there's a lot of different models out there, right? It's everybody has a different keyboard, different mouse, different joystick. It's hard to have a universal thing for all inputs. So we're working on that. We're going to make sure that that's there for you guys. But it is technically an extension of controller, yeah.
I want to ask Marek, actually, is this something, because I know, I think really it's just one of those things that the team never got to. As you know, there's infinite things almost that can be added to space engineers. And it's always about allocating the resources and prioritizing, how many, people are going to make use of this feature. But I wanted to ask Marek, did you guys at some point, did you experiment with the joysticks and stuff like that? Even pre-alpha, almost minor wars. I'm just curious if you ever experimented.
Yeah. I mean, maybe my memories kind of damaged, or I don't remember, but I actually, when we decided to work on the joystick for this one, I sent message to Philip, to the programmer, and asked him why are we doing joystick? Because I think we already have joystick, you know what I mean? So these things have been changing throughout the development. So as far as I remember, I think we had joystick support, then it got removed somehow, and kind of converted to controller. Now we have the joystick support again. So And then, of course, there is joystick support, and then there is joystick support. Like, you can always go deeper and implement, let's say, like more features that the joysticks have, and so on. So, yeah. So even in Mind Wars, I actually remember that we had joystick, at least some version of some support for joystick. Because for some reason I thought like this will be important because it's a like flight sim game, and that kind of people will want it. Then I also remember that we bought few types of joysticks so we could test it, and then I stopped paying attention to it for many years, obviously, and so but now if people want it, they have it.
And this is, of course, Ryan, a feature where we're going to want to hear their feedback on, aren't we, for further implementation of different settings and controls. So if you've got yourself a joystick, get the feedback sorted in there, on our support area, so we know, how you're configuring it, what's going on. And of course, if you're playing with a joystick and you snap a picture, that hashtag Space Engineers would be great.
So
and again, just another shout out to Philip, because I think Philip really single-handedly kind of made this happen. Our lead programmer really put a lot of effort into this to make sure it was working. And again, he'll be pushing it forward too.
W Phillips in the chat. All right, so next on, and this is also a really hotly requested expansion, I guess, and that is more set value actions. So this is long-standing community feedback here. So I'm just going to show you the list of new blocks, even maybe new blocks, or maybe new features of those blocks that you can now use set value actions on. So let me have a look at this list here. I'm not sure, Ryan, if there's some particular you want to bring attention to as we scroll down. We've got antenna, beacons, jump drives, sensors, GravGen, custom turret controller, gyroscopes, wheel suspensions, all here, all have these new values. And this is incredibly important. And when we first released set actions, it was the community exploded with excitement. So to see it widen like this, I think is a big deal.
Oh yeah, I think the antennas and beacons are fantastic for like scenario creators and content creators, people who want to have builds that are responsive with like their communication. I think that's a really great one. Jump drives is a great quality of life moment for people who just be able to dial in how far they're jumping on specific jumps. Wheels is a huge one. The set speed, like we have pretty much everything you need, I think, to make your own like transmission or have different elements, like trains speed up, slow down as we're going. So that's a really big one. I'm really excited just to see how people use these ones. I think every time we give people these features, they're empowered and they make really surprising creations for us. But like every time we do it, it's just the more and more they can accomplish.
100%. I mean, this is, and I know that even this week, even in a couple of days, within 24 hours, we'll probably see that people making use of these new set actions, set value actions, like immediately, honestly. So
yeah.
Next up, we're going through this here. We have the projector improvements. We actually have a number of things here. So we have the projector improvements. So maybe you want to cover that one as well there, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that's pretty important to me. Projectors are like a primary way for survival builds to take shape and to enter the world. So we've gone through and we've made sure some of those toggles are responsive and working the way that you'd expect them to. And the build planner, I think, is it tied to this? I guess maybe not, but I guess they're kind of connected, because as you're building, the build planner was also freshened up so that as you're grabbing materials, as you're pausing materials, it's a lot more responsive and it's keeping what you expect to be in your inventory. So that was overhauled as well. But the entire building experience with these two things coupled is really where it'll shine.
So I'm also just going to quickly address, I'm seeing some reports in chat, people referencing some crashed desktops.
I've relayed the information that these guys are reporting onwards, so we'll have some answers for you.
Just stay tuned.
So
we'll see if we get an update here. And if there is an issue affecting certain systems, I'm sure the team will be ready with a hot fix ASAP. So just stand with us, stand by here, guys, and we'll try and get an update in a second here. I'm not. Are some people playing successfully right now? I'm just making sure this is not like a. Let's see what the chat says as we move on, but keeping an eye on. We are reading chat. We're just there you go. So Robin's fine. So it's fine for some. It seems that certain system configurations, but I know that the team will be on that pronto. So
if everyone's rushed to plug the joystick in, they've dusted it off. The cobwebs are off the joystick. They've plugged it in, and they're trying to install drivers for it or something.
So this is a big one. I'm gonna read. We've got hinges, rotors, and pistons. We've increased the structural integrity of hinges, rotors, and pistons, generally buffing their component requirements. Thus, they can now take few more hits than before being destroyed. So mech builders and general mechanized builds. This is for you. This is for you here. So I was asking, Ryan, I was curious if there was a specific value of like how much they're buffed by. I think Ryan was saying it's not like crazy, but they can definitely take a hit now before they just pop off. So I think this is a big deal. People have been asking for tougher mechanical blocks for a long time. So I can see the reactions in chat already, but all of you guys, turrets, custom turrets, what else do you guys use?
So I was curious as well of what the challenges were of making them tougher. Like, what were the decisions? Like, were they weaker for a reason? Like, and are they stronger for a reason?
The weight is a big consideration. When you add components, you're obviously adding mass to the block. So we want to make sure that they're behaving the same, that they're balanced in that aspect. So you're not going to have a build that's going to be broken. But in general, we kept everything we tested had the same functionality. Everything was fine. But they take a little bit more fire, which is great, especially for custom turret controllers. So when you're doing PvP, you're fighting NPCs, like your turret should be able to take another hit.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, obviously, as someone in chat mentioned, like obviously the side effect of this is that these blocks will be heavier now. So I don't know if that will cause issues for existing builds or not, but it should be okay. I'm not sure. Do you know?
Yeah, we should be fine.
Should be fine. All right, good.
Yeah,
so,
we didn't go super overboard.
Too crazy.
It's just enough that you're gonna have a little bit more life for sure.
There you go. Perfect. So next up here, we have the build planner. And I think, again, you touched on this, Ryan, and I'm going to show a couple things here. We have the build planner and the proximity respawn system that have got improvements. So feel free to expand on that for us here.
Yeah, so the build planner, I mean, just in general, especially with Apex Survival, various elements and items would stay in your inventory or wouldn't interact quite the same. Like mass depositing wouldn't necessarily put your food in your container, right? After you harvest it, you'd have to manually drag it. So those are now listed. And one big thing that's important to us is that just modability and control over these types of systems. We've now added a tag so every modder can go add an item that should or shouldn't be quick deposited. So that's a great feature too. So modders can go check that out.
That's very nice. I mean, whenever we get a new modding feature, the modders immediately make use of that. So that's a big deal. I know in the last update we had some really nice stuff for modders. I mean, the systems, the planter, there was a lot of stuff for modders. So it's great that this is another element that modders can adjust for their mods. That's awesome. So yeah, then we have the proximity respawn system.
Yeah, this is mostly for our dedicated server friends. If you die when you're offline, if your character is gone, it was previously not remembering where you were if you had proximity enabled, which is I think the default setting for everybody. So now it will remember where you were. It won't just deposit you at a random survival kit or strand you, get you kidnaps across the galaxy. you'll be at a consistent space. We also added logging for cause of death and reasons for cause of death into the server log, so admins can now go, hey, what happened? Like somebody's complaining something's going on, or there was some problem. We can now easily troubleshoot those things, and if there is a problem, we can get that log to QA, and they can figure out if there is an actual bug or something going on. But it should be much easier, much more clear to find out like why something happened on your server, and make sure that people end up where they're supposed to be.
Yep.
Whoa.
Important stuff.
That landing gear distracted me so much. Look at the detail.
Yeah,
it's incredible. I was like
these.
I was just. The thing is with some of the artwork for space engineers, is you look into the design and you see different aspects of it, and you can imagine the feel and the industrial nature of it. They look like they would support a giant ship. Because in the past, like some of the landing gears have looked a little bit weaker, but these for them big ships, them capital, ships. If you wanted to take one down to a planet, them struts would definitely support it.
And I was thinking, Marek, looking at this landing gear, because it's obviously beautiful. It's obviously next generation, but what's amazing is that I bring this up because we still have this Space Engineers feel to all the blocks in Space Engineers, even though they've got more detailed and the guys have got better at it. Like this still very much looks like in the Space Engineers universe. And I think that's I still think somewhat like a testament to 12 years of hard development.
I wish we could have brought up, the landing gear from the first few versions, because this is so detailed. It's so crisp on screen.
Before.
It was just a round stick with a, like a green magnet on the bottom, but now so detailed, these blocks.
I always wish like if
Yeah.
time travel was real and we could like go back and like show this in like 2013, like people would, I would say people would say it was AI generated, but then 2013, like, you know, where we think where AI is now, and like it's crazy. AI wasn't even around. People actually would have probably believed, oh, this is a real thing you guys have made. So yeah, it's honestly, yeah, it's crazy. So beautiful work. We're going to get into this very shortly here. Let's have a look. And I'll tell you what, Marek, I just wanted to ask you, that was a question. Like, how does it feel like, it's actually kind of SE2 related, like when the guys are trying to, you have blocks in SE1 that look so good, and SE2 is still trying to, with the blocks be even more detailed, right? But I guess there it's more often about the technology when we're looking at like the kind of resolution of the textures and stuff like that. I'm just curious, like if you have like a kind of say on
The differences?
yeah.
So I think the models of the blocks, they look already good in SE1, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there is, like anything to improve. But for SE2, we are a little bit more careful with texture density or texel density, actually. Like making sure that would you see the surface area in, let's say, like 1 meter square contains like the set amount of texels. And so that it's consistent. That's another thing, actually, so you don't have like somewhere blurry textures and somewhere like super detailed and so on. So that's one thing. Another is that, of course, in SE2 we have the destruction stages.
Yeah.
So the blocks, they can be like split into fractures and so on. So, and this is actually like a huge complication. People probably don't realize this, but for example, in terms of money, it probably will cost us, I don't know, like maybe $1 million over 10 years of development. Just this fact that you need to invest so much more time to do all these fractures, allow this for them, solve some problems. They consume more memory and so on. So, but I think it's worth it, right? Because we want this detail and the physicality and destruction. And destruction is one of the main things in SE universe.
Definitely.
So to wrap it up, I think SE1 blocks, they already look amazing. And I don't think they need any improvement as they are. Especially
how do you improve on that?
Ones.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
It's like a so amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on that because I look at this and it's thinking like, man, like I could almost see this in SE2.
The baby
right?
one though, the little one. Oh,
The little one.
It's cute, isn't it? It's really cute. There's going to be a lot of engineers that are going to get landed on and crushed by that landing gear.
So next up here we got I think this here we go. So we have inventory, production, and conveyor system improvements. Ram, what we got?
Yeah, this was a really important one for me. I took this on, and we really wanted to make sure that things were just more clear. The inventory now has tooltips. It had tooltips, but they were kind of inconsistent. So we fixed the issues with the tooltips. They show up consistently now. And we overhauled every single block's inventory tooltips. If it has a filter that you can or cannot put something in, it will tell you what it accepts. There's new icons that are indicative of what it should be. Like if you think to like an oxygen tank, before it had a placeholder kind of icon that probably just never changed. It was like an ore icon, and now it's got the bubbles that match the oxygen bottles. So things like that are much cleaner, much clearer. We touched, I think it's somewhere around like 60 blocks and different inventories and different filters and tooltips. So it's a lot clearer. It should make way more sense when you're trying to move things in between inventories, what it should or shouldn't take.
All of this huge stuff. I mean, all of this stuff together that you've seen so far, guys, it's definitely going to make big impacts in just how you play the game. And again, that's what this update's all about. So there are many additional improvements and fixes in this update, and you can find everything on the changelog. And that includes the full list of 188 bug fixes, a mix of ones found by a team, but also ones reported by the community. So just like with any update, guys, please keep that going. Give us the feedback, give us any reports and crashes that you find, and the team will be sure to be getting the hotfix out as soon as possible. So we got a section here for the free DLC content editions, and as always, we're always looking at a way to.
Can we?
Oh,
Before we move on,
Oh
to
yeah,
that, can we
sorry.
actually move
Oh yeah,
to,
we've got a whole list here. That's
I want to touch on the bug fixes. Yeah,
oh
the bug
yes,
fixes are
we
really
have a
big
list
part of
here.
this
That's
update.
true. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Getting
we
ahead.
had listed the list after the free DLC. What we can break in there.
Oh yeah, we hadn't got to it yet on the, but that's okay. We can do it now. Let's do it now. Let's do it now.
It would be a good time to fit it in.
Let's go then, Ryan. I've got it up here.
So yeah,
Sorry.
there's a handful of fixes that are big community support site ones that and things that are probably kind of game changing for a couple of people that really fixed issues. The first one is asteroid rendering. Asteroids before had an issue for a long time now. Had an issue where if the voxel had been changed or someone had built on the voxel, then it would be displaying for way farther than it should have. So it was possible before that asteroids would render for like past 100 kilometers or so. And those are now rendering correctly. So you won't be able to be like spotted from super far away, especially on a multiplayer server, if you've touched an asteroid. Those voxels are adjusting and rendering the correct way. So that's a really, really big one. We've also fixed, this one's fixed issue with camera being obstructed by smaller docked ships. The camera control and the way the camera rotates around or interacts with the grid is much more dynamic. It takes into account how that's working and what's going on. So you'll no longer have a docked ship on your roof and then your camera's obstructed and you can't see. So that's a really, really big one. Let's see, meteor showers. Meteor showers was another one. We were really passionate about trying to get that fixed sooner rather than later, because we released Apex Survival with lots of meteor improvements and changes of modability, and then it seemed like there was some element that wasn't connected on dedicated servers, so they were spawning frequently, very rapidly, more than they should have been doing it. So I encourage you guys to go check that out again. If you tried it during Apex Survival and went, whoa, I'm getting Armageddon mode at meteors, it's probably because of this bug. So we fixed that one. That's a huge one. So meteors are actually one of my favorite things to turn on and just deal with on the light setting. So hopefully give that a try again. I think it's a really fun gameplay element.
The chat's loving this, by the way, Ryan. Like people are saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
XCW,
Hopefully.
finally.
Get into the
These are-
details of it.
Yeah. Again, these are things that like you guys requested that we made sure were in this update. Fix the bridge helm and open seats. There's a couple seats, like the bridge helm specifically, which is a really popular way to control grids. That block set is really, really cool, but it was getting a radiation through the window just because there was a slight margin between the character and the window because it's such a tight space. So that's now fixed. You will no longer get radiation while you're in the bridge blocks. We fixed the jump drive reference point. The jump drive was having issues after Apex Survival where you'd try to jump and it would say it was obstructed, but it wasn't really clear what was obstructing it. We updated the reference point, so that is now very clearly using where you're sitting and jumping you to the right location. So that's a huge, just like stressor gone when you're trying to troubleshoot or figure out what the heck's going on with your jump drive. We fixed broadcast controllers. If you play the game in another language, different localization pack, broadcast controllers are having lots of issues with that. They wouldn't function, and so that's now fixed. So all of our friends that are playing on localized games, those are now working. And then this really, really big one. This is a huge one. The left and right versions of keybind modifiers are now working, so you can now choose left and right control versus before it was just control. So you can now specify which part of your keybinds you want to use. So those are kind of the highlights. Those are the good ones, I think, that are in there for me anyways.
I mean, these are big ones. I mean, I see that especially the Meteor. This was a big one that people, were clearly. I mean, I'm just reading the chat here, but also in the voxel issue that people were having. So yeah, great. This is just some of them, guys. This is just like an overview.
Yeah.
There's so many of these things.
There's still 188 of them,
going.
so don't worry.
So definitely recommend looking at the full changelog to see. Maybe you'll find even your specific issue you were having recently is being fixed. Take a look. So yeah, now we'll say move on here to the free DLC content editions. And I say, always looking at ways to improve existing DLCs if there's variations that make sense and that the community feeds back, they really feel are missing. And for this update, we have additional conduit blocks. And of course, this was added in the last pack, the Apex Survival pack. So there's 3 new blocks, more conduit variants for your Greeblings. So you see some of these variants here.
This is a great block to detail your interiors of your ship, because we were saying a while ago, Space Engineers didn't have much interior detail blocks, but now there is so much. They almost look like Space Engineers 2 detailing levels.
Yeah.
And the way that some of the players have managed to combine these blocks together. And I have to say, still, from that previous update, the one that sparks, the broken conduit one, is marvelous.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we were aiming for, just making sure that set is complete, seeing how people are using it. And I think these ones really round out that whole thing. You have pretty much every option you'd want now.
And that leads us in to the core systems pack. And of course, as we already touched on, this will, definitely, if you choose to pick this up, guys, this will support the continued development of Space Engineers 1 and 2. And contains cosmetic items. And when we scroll down here, you'll see just how stunning these.
So I was saying
blocks
before,
are.
this is like a very dense goodie bag. Like, there's not one block in here that I wouldn't find myself using. Like the cockpits that are hanging from the ceiling, spectacular. Stick them on a rotor, guys. Have some fun with doing that. These rounded armor blocks, the doors, incredible to look at. The jump drive, the landing. There's not a block on there, and of course that thruster comes with an even better looking sort of exhaust flame as well.
Yeah.
It was a big battle, wasn't it, Ryan?
Guys,
getting that flame correct, I heard.
Oh yeah, our artists were working hard to try to figure out how to make it work correctly and look correct, and like it's a totally new billboard, and it's really, really beautiful. So shout out to the artists for sure.
I
mean, with everything on this, the artists really knocked it out of the park. So
I see a comment here, Ryan, from Ziggo Mayer says, I'm in game right now, and oh boy, you guys cooked. We love to see it, Ziggo. That's awesome. These blocks look so good. Yeah, honestly, I know, a lot of our team watches these streams or they'll watch it later. So I say the comments are, it's great to see you guys. Really appreciate that. And as always, I'll take this kind of tangent to, a lot of effort goes into these updates. Everything from the design to the artists' work, to the QA, the programming, of course, marketing and community side. So there's a lot of things always come together. And once again, this is a beautiful update.
And as the Space Engineers 1 team know, if they manage to make a block spin in an update, it's mission accomplished. And we do have a lovely spinning block.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. I was about to mention it, but I think we'll scroll down and we'll get to that one. But yeah, looking at the list as well, like you might say, the new cockpit, the new thrusters, because these obviously are very shiny. You got that big flame, but those rounded blocks, like the potential of these for like the guys who love to do a lot of detail, they like to break up some of their builds. With some other shapes other than square shapes.
There's so many smaller variations though of these. Like these are just not rounded corners and edges. There's like little rounded tiplet parts as well. So a whole configuration of blocks that you could use. Like I was saying before, some of these blocks would make great like wingtips or detailing sections within dark areas of your ship hidden behind armor. You could just you'll go ham, and we'll always be surprised what the players come up with when it comes to detailing the ships and how they use these blocks.
And we're actually gonna start looking at them, all of them here, and you can see the one we were just talking about. We have you zoom in a bit here, get a bigger GIF. We have the sci-fi hydrogen thruster. So how was it coming up with the design for this? Because we know the community always loves more thrusters, Ryan. So how was it like? What did you guys like? I don't know, like kind of were inspired by anything? Were you trying to go for a certain look? But it honestly is fantastic. And I was just yesterday saying I was looking at a build and I was saying, oh, this would be great. And yeah, tomorrow you might need to replace some things on it. And this was exactly it was this ship and it had this beautiful rear. It had these huge hydrogen thrusters, and I was thinking, man, these are gonna be perfect.
That's it. With these updates, what I love to see is ship overhauls, because the players will be at it tonight, they'll be at it next week, and they'll be completely overhauling their designs. Adding these new thrusters in, changing up their jump drive. Maybe they're going to configure their ship with a new jump drive, a hydrogen engine. So we'll see. I want to see these upgraded ships with these various DLC blocks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, previously the only DLC thruster we had for hydrogen was the industrial one from the heavy industry pack, and it's a fantastic, beautiful thruster too, but in its own way it's also kind of retro. It's like that almost like old school NASA Apollo type thruster, right? And so when we were looking at this one, we were like, we really want to do something very like sci-fi and make it sleek and clean and look like it's powerful. And I think we really got that. Our artist Vladimir really hit it out of the park. It's awesome. It's every single time I see a hydrogen ship now, it's like a compulsive need to swap to this thing. So
but that's what's cool about it. There's a different vibe. I think from my vibe, I'm definitely going to be using this one a lot. But at the same time, the classic hydrogen, that is definitely a different vibe that I think will probably match other builds better in some ways. But with this one, I can't tell what excites me more, the actual model or the new flame. It both look so
right.
Talking of spinning, we're coming on to the Jump Drive Mark II, and here it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that one, Ryan, and this little spinning feature of this one?
I love a spin.
I know, yeah. I had some big input pieces on this one. This was one that I really felt like we could do and we could do really well. And I was, for me personally, some of my favorite things to do in Space Engineers is to build like submarine like ships or like really tight corridors. And I particularly love the industrial sets where we're walking through the refinery and we're walking through the assembler. And I was working with the artist and we tried to see, can we do something like that for a jump drive? Can we make it where it's accessible and kind of have this like spinning core, very like sort of Battlestar Galactica, if you remember. The core of that ship was really cool on their FTL drive. So we tried to kind of take elements from different sci-fi things and go, how can we make the jump drive a really exciting sci-fi block and give it those elements? And I think we accomplished it. I can't stop using this one either.
But it's the fact, Ryan, that it doesn't just spin, kind of passively or whatever. Like it's the fact that the central core spins during charging cycles. So I think that little attention to immersion is super cool. It's like, and it starts spooling up.
Especially when I'm heading down to engineering and I see that spinning up. It's like, oh, there's a guy down there and he tells me, it's spinning up. It's not quite charged yet. It's like,
right. Yeah, definitely. And it's worth noting, just like for the Reddit community and the guys who like to hunt for Easter eggs, there's a huge Easter egg buried in this model. And I think it probably take 24 hours for people to figure it out. But I would love to see everybody kind of examine this one in detail and see if you can find where we stuck that Easter egg.
All right, you got it, guys. Hackers, get on that. Let's go. Block hackers. Amazing. So another absolutely stunning block. We have the suspended control seat, and again, beautifully shown in the trailer here. We'll look at it in game in a second here, but this is a special one again. Look at this. So Ryan, what was the kind of thought design process? It was like, right, we need a new flight seat or cockpit or whatever kind of decision making went behind this one.
Well, you can see pretty clearly with the whole theme of the DLC, we tried to go very cool, sleek, high sci-fi, and you can't have sci-fi without a cool, weird chair, right? And these are just really awesome. We tried to just really take some inspiration from various sci-fi elements and give something that was very open and have lots of field of view. So when you're piloting, you can sit there and you can really see pretty much every direction. And we did two variants, one that has a seat hanging or a screen hanging in front of you and one that doesn't. So you can have that view if you want to have an LCD there, or you can have completely unobstructed view. But that was really the core of it, to give something sleek and lightweight and that maximized visibility.
Because my bet with this one, this is going to be the most rotated cockpit that we've ever had.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because it's cool because some players, they choose to kind of build their own screens in front of them, or they'll have like a kind of a bridge, and then they'll have like a bunch of screens, and they might want to just maximize the visibility, like you're saying. So it's great to have that variant. Some of the comments are funny too, like what vibes you getting from this? I love this Admiral Akbar, because I'm like, now I've heard that, I'm definitely feeling that. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh yeah.
It's a trap. All right, moving on. We have the centered door, and we talked about how much we love doors. This is, I think we said, Marek's favorite block. Look at that block, Marek. It's beautiful. A block, sir, variants here.
And you've got your window, so you can see people suffering on the other side as they're trying to grind their way in. Or, of course, you can be completely sealed up, so there's no, you can't see what's happening on the other side. And a bit of mystery of what's in that room. I always think the window doors always look great on like medical sort of things. Like a nice white, clean interior.
Well, the new glass door from, I've lost track of, was it the last update? I think it was the one before that, where it was the fully glass door. This one has taken over ship interiors. I see that one everywhere now when I'm walking through ships, and it's just beautiful. Glass is great, honestly. It just having a little peek through to the rooms behind.
Have you seen the detailing though on this one? This because it's got like an emergency exit pull. Sort of.
That's a little.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I think my favorite comment in the chat so far has been that this update isn't the core system update; it's the door system update, which was pretty good. But I think, like, again, it's another beautiful block. We really kind of wanted another door that had that we saw the response from Fieldwork with the lab door, and we wanted one that had glass, but we're also, why don't we give them solid ones, and why don't we also do a half one and a full one? And we ended up with this set, even for small grid, where it's a really just a good looking door that really fits with so many other pieces. Like the half blocks are perfectly fit. It really meshes well with corridors. So it's a really awesome one.
It was a comment I just saw, actually. I wanted to pull attention to from Sentasu, says, finally a door we can have connected to corridors. That is nice for sure. So beautiful doors, guys. 4 blocks +2 for small grid. So now we're coming on to the landing gear Type 2. And of course, we discussed this earlier with the image above, but just once again, just amazing modeling and texturing from our artists. It's seriously impressive and just very satisfying here when it comes down. Look at that.
And we already have the mag pads, the mag plates, which are really thin, really thin landing gear. And so we felt a little more free with this one to be like, okay, how can we make it more compact? How can we make it fit? Because everybody does have access to those smaller shaped form factors already. So we were trying to see, like, can we do something that would fit on something like this, a retractable setup that's taking up less space, that would look very sci-fi and cool. And again, I think we did it. I don't know that I can stop using this one either.
There's a question about having the ship used to showcase the new Hydro thrusters on the workshop. So I think it's it's kind of an upgraded variant, and I don't know if it's there already, but in general, the team always tries.
It will be.
It will be. Yes. Normally, the guys are pretty good with that.
Because I mean, this ship was so pinnacle to this trailer. Like, it's going to be there, and it's beautiful.
Fireworks and everything. So
shout out to Aragath for that beautiful ship for sure.
The legend, the man, the myth, the legend, Aragath. So up next, we have the sci-fi hydrogen engine. So this is another animated block, and I say it's great. We have a good number of animated blocks in SE1 now, and I think with SE2, I know the team has gone even crazier. I don't want to say every block is animated, but even like I think a higher percentage of blocks are animated in SE2. It was probably. I imagine the big thing, again, like for SE1, it's that kind of immersion, right? When you're walking around a ship and it's not just static, right? There is some things going on there, even if you're on your own.
But someone
and on top of that...
Oh, sorry,
go ahead.
No, go on. I was going to say, as someone who appreciates an engine, pistons.
Yeah.
And then pistons going in and out. Wow. Looks spectacular.
Well,
looks like a violent sort of action you'd expect from an engine like this. But go on, Ryan, sorry.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is just that it's not just animated, it's also interactable, which is very cool. Those panels that are on the side of it, if you tap them, they slide open. So we now also have support for sliding animations like that, which modders can also take advantage of. It's not just a very beautiful block, it's also an interactable block, which is awesome.
That's awesome, Ryan, because again, like a couple of things already this update, whenever we add something like that and we open it for the support of modders, they will be using that 100%. I know it. So that is another huge thing. You look at the block is great, but the fact that it has the sliding animation that modders can also utilize, even better. And then we have like the biggest kind of collection of blocks here, the round edges block. So round edges blocks, there's 14 blocks for large grid and 12 blocks for small grid. And you can see them all nicely laid out here. And again, it's just, they fit, you might not notice them in the trailer not when they're focused, but in general, because they kind of seamlessly fit into existing builds, but because it's not like a hard edge, it does something to the eyes for sure when you're looking at something. It breaks shapes up, I think.
But like even the edging on the round segments and then the paneling, they almost look like they come apart. And yet one of the most lovely thing about the visuals is imagining how that block would be constructed and come together.
Yeah.
So the paneling, the edging, the reinforcements in some of them sections, they just look.
Yeah, amazing. Really, very, very cool here. So we got our last few blocks of the pack here. Now, another one everyone likes. Always blocks of lights in. We have the trougher light here. And this is also very sci-fi. I mean, look at that. So you're going to have the lights either side and then a pipe or conduits running down the middle. So these are, again, a variant, and it's going to unlock a whole new set of corridors because people are always combining the blocks they have into beautiful corridors, and this gives you even more potential. And not obviously you have the kind of light side, but also the other sides to utilize as well. So this is very nice. Great job, artists, again.
When we were designing this one, we purposely made, there's just 3 different versions, and there's half block versions and a half block offset, so you can build those half blocks however you want. But we also really took a conscious effort to make sure that it was like smooth on the backside. So if you put this as a floor, you've got a smooth surface to walk on too. So it really makes building the different layers, especially those half blocks, really accessible and really clean.
It's a great pack. I say the core systems pack, it's a good one. And now we've actually gone through all this, guys. We're going to carry on a little bit, and I'm going to pull the game up as we go into the Q&A session here. I want to ask, what is your favorite block of the update, guys? Trophylite, the round edges, the hydrogen engine, the landing gear Type 2, the centered door, the suspended control seat, the jump drive Mark II, or the sci-fi hydrogen thrusters, or the free bed. So these are all the blocks in this update. I would love to hear from the chat. If you could pick one, I know it's not easy. I know I couldn't pick. I think for me, no. Every time I want to say like the doors, but then I'm like, but those thrusters, it's very hard.
Well, I keep seeing a lot of free beds. Free bed.
Free bed. There you go.
There will
Quite a mix, though.
One thing to quickly mention, though, the people that were experiencing crashes, the team are already on it and they fixed it, so you should be able to get in now if you're experiencing a crash. So great work there. They've quick solution. Yeah,
thanks, team. I think there was people. I haven't seen quite as many comments. I'm sure the guys will be getting out that as soon as possible. And I was talking about the best block, but the blocks might not be the favorite part of this update for you. And I see the set values is the biggest deal for them in this update. So I would love to know, again, beyond the blocks, what is your favorite part of this update, guys? Maybe it's one of the new features or one of the new improvements that the team has made here. So we're going to get onto the Q&A section. I think the last bit here we have is just again about what's next. We've kind of already covered it, but we're just going to ask, Ryan as well, if he can give us any teasers, and maybe Marek can add some kind of bit of teasers here. So obviously a lot of work on PvE over these last couple of years now, even 3 years. I've lost track of time. It flies by. But, a lot has gone into kind of developing the survival and the PvE experience. And of course, the last major piece of that puzzle is coming with the next update, the 209 economy stations and missions. So again, Ryan, obviously, we don't want to say too much today, but just something to get the players hyped up.
Well, I mean, with the boss in the room and the snipers in position, there's only so much I can't say. But I will say, like, we've been modernizing all the content and unifying it, right? We've had cargo ships and other elements for a long time, but as we've touched them up and made them better, this journey has been long, but everybody has been on board with us. You've seen where we've been going, and we've been hitting mark after mark. And every single time we release something, we read all these comments, all these YouTube, all the feedback stuff, and it is such a requested portion to modernize those trade stations and to make economy up to par with those same things. And that's really what we want to deliver to you. We want to make sure that you have a cohesive, good experience, and that all of this NPC content kind of works in this great synergy and gives you lots of options to do things with your builds and be creative with everything. So that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're hoping to deliver. And I think we're well on our way. We've already started production. We're absolutely thrilled with how it's going.
Thanks so much, Ryan. It's definitely it's going to be huge, and obviously we don't have any ETAs just yet, but I think you guys got a rough idea of how long updates take. I mean, I don't know if this was this last one. I think the gap a little smaller. I can't remember. Like you can look back when the releases. I want to say it's like
I'd say it feels a lot quicker, but I don't know if time has just flown by.
That's true.
But to me, this feels like even though technically it's not a massive update, it's so focused. Like I mean, with the way this economy update's going to be coming, then that's going to be a big one.
Was it 3 months? So that is quick. That's pretty quick, isn't it? Like, I feel like some of the updates.
This was a very fast one.
Like Apex Survival, was it like 6 months or more? I can't remember. So
I think it was about like 4. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, our team has been, like you said, focused. We've been trying really hard to make sure what we're touching is important and what we're doing is the thing that the players want, and to get the game into a spot where we all feel like these systems are working together. And so, I mean, the update cycles have been, I think, faster, which I think a lot of people are seeing. But also our feedback has been really positive, and it keeps the momentum going. If you guys are supporting us, and we're able to keep pushing these things forward, and we know where we're going because you guys are here with us taking this journey.
I think, and again, just to hand to Marek here, just as we look over these last years of updates and coming into a 9 Lake, I guess just people often ask about the future of SE1 and everything, and I think we really talked about it in the sense that if players keep on playing it and supporting with the packs and stuff. I just wanted to, if you had any insight for the community of like how you see development of Space Engineers 1 going, for the future here. Yeah, what you can touch on that from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right now and for now, I think that the main thing is that we're just going to continue support SE1 for the foreseeable future. of course, the question is what is the foreseeable future, but how to say it? Like we don't have plan to stop SE1 support right now. Of course, this can change, in some future. So like, I don't know, how the world will look in 3 years and so on. But right now there are no plans. We have a roadmap for the next couple of updates, and that's the only thing that matters.
For sure.
Because I was going to say, I think the SE team and Marek, we suffer from, we love the community and we love their feedback, and we hear the feedback and we're like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And the team evolve it further and further. And then, like we were saying before, just from then to now, the quality of improvements, the overhaul, I wish we had a total of feedback that we'd listen to, and everything that we've implemented, from player ideas to, fixing little problems that you had. But yeah, I think it's just a factor of we love the community and we can't stop, and Marek can't stop.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, just echoing what's already been said, like I think we've always kind of been talking about, as SE2 develops, if there'll be this kind of transition and so on. But I think there's still so many amazing things going for SE1, and SE2 is building these revolutionary, game-changing features and technology, and we're all excited about all of it, honestly. And yeah, I mean, right now there really seems no need to stop the train, right? It's everything's looking really good. And I was saying just last night, it's been 12 years, but the community is still just as passionate and is doing just as amazing things as it was 12 years ago. And it's actually, and I'm still like, I wouldn't say amazed, I wouldn't also even surprised, but it's great to see that it's still sustained and it's still bringing in new people. I'm talking about the entire ecosystem, but it's, yeah, it's amazing. You guys are amazing. So it's really good stuff. So on that note, I say thanks, Ryan, we got to the end of the blog post there. So now we're going to transition to kind of a Q&A session, and I'll load up the game in the meantime and just kind of show some of these new blocks. And Aaron and Marek will focus more of their attention on the chat. And Ryan, if there's any questions that you see you want to address, this could be about, ideally about today's update, just so we can get those focused answers. But if you have some general SE questions, or some, maybe we'll sneak in a few SE2 questions.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We're gonna try and behave ourselves on the SE2 questions, because I know there's so many out there, but we want to save that for later this week. But yeah, let's bring them questions in. Because a question that I keep seeing popping up, Marek, as well, is a lot of people see features in Space Engineers 2 and then want that said feature brought back to Space Engineers 1. Is that something you want to keep exclusive to Space Engineers 2?
No, not really. I think if SE1 team wants to steal some ideas from SE2, like they're absolutely free to do it. So there is nothing like exclusivity here, or I think maybe we have us working on SE2, we have a little bit like more free hands than the SE1 team, because we are trying to redefine something. So we can explore more, but there have been few examples where the SE1 team actually came to me and asked like, hey Marek, can we take this feature and bring it to SE1? And I'm totally open to it. So we don't want to, create some kind of false or artificial scarcity of features, or some kind of exclusivity that only SE2 can have some features and SE1 no. No, like they can develop. I mean, they will never be the same. I think that's for sure. So there is no reason why SE1 cannot get some good ideas that are in SE2, and vice versa. Actually, I think there are some things that the SE1 team is doing that will be stealing to SE2.
Because I've just quickly seen popped up here in the comments as well, is that we brought the SE2 control scheme back to Space Engineers 1. Obviously, Ryan can comment on that a bit further. Was the idea behind that, to kind of help build up the knowledge of the controls for players in Space Engineers 2, or was the layout just simply better?
I think it's both, honestly. The control scheme as it was could definitely use some love, and I think that's where SE2 is having a really good benefit of kind of taking a step back and going, what are the best parts of this game, what are the pain points, and how do we make it into this new version. And they have some great solutions for things, and that's why, you know, being able to collaborate and share ideas and see what could work for either side is really good. But definitely, yeah, it's really just a usability. Like if you look at even the tooltips and the inventory filters from this update, like we're constantly having new players, and having elements like that are difficult for them to get into, it's just not great. So we want to keep improving our side to make sure that those things are there, that you have the control scheme. And then also when you jump between both games, you don't have that big of a gap that you can go, I understand how this works and I'm going to play this game right now.
Okay, and another question that we've got here are there any plans to automate farming? I know there's a lot of questions, a lot of speculation about, you know, some players want to completely automate it. We answered this kind of last time of why we've not automated it, but maybe we can touch on it again.
Yeah, I mean, we did open up a lot of mod API elements too, so there should be more elements that you can interact with farming if you wanted to mod it. But for right now, no, we don't have any plans on automating it for the official game. But we are aware of those requests, and that's why we do things like the mod API expansions and trying to make sure that what you want to do is achievable. So we're looking at elements like that. We're going to watch this update the same way and see how things are going and see if there's more things that we can deliver to you guys. For the moment, though, the way it's playing is exactly what we are hoping for. But again, you never say never in Space Engineers, right?
So there's also some questions about, will some of the assets be available from the trailer, and the team will do the best they can to get some of, like, for instance, the ship going up, the station. Apologies will most likely release some of their aspects as well. So if you do want to check them out, and they are incredible to look at, so that'll answer that there as well.
We're looking at this, I say, some of the new blocks here in the background, and man, looks so good.
There's another really good question here for you, Marek, as well. Is how was it quite difficult to split or divide the teams when it came to who was going to be continuing to work on Space Engineers 1 and who was going to move to 2? Or did you already have these sort of people in mind?
Okay, good question. Actually, you have to remember. So originally there was only one team, of course, the SC team, split into some sub-teams, of course, like our team or game design or level design and QA team and so on. And programmers, I think they were mostly just like one group. I think we didn't even do, you know, some kind of specialization back then. And with SC2, we took some people from there and they moved to SC2 and started to work on SC2. And of course, some people stayed in SC1. And then I think we just continued also hiring new people for SC2. So again, I would have to look on, you know, some like a list of people a couple of years back to remember exactly. But I think I think we didn't kind of steal people from SC1, you know, to SC2. That we built the team.
Because one thing that I've noticed as well, it's like every now and then, you know, a team member can be lent over. You know, if they've got like a speciality, you know, you might borrow a team member here or there, or if, you know, one project's completed. That's what I've noticed every now and then as well. So it's not like if someone's got, you know, a really speciality in one subject that they couldn't be borrowed, you know, to assist or even, you know, comment on something like that. Mm-hmm. Just quickly get back onto the topic that I was having a look. So this one might be able to be answered by Ryan. So there is some older non-DLC blocks that could do with a big update. Is that something that's, you know, planned on being overhauled, redesigned in the future?
We've talked about elements like that. We don't have any plans right now. It really comes down to, like, you know, as we have two teams working in parallel, the SE1 team is a little bit smaller. And so we have to manage our resources and make sure what we're delivering is impactful. And kind of like we were talking about earlier with like keeping things focused and ensuring we're delivering the right things to the players and things that they're asking for. If we take time to redo those, it also takes time from the art for other elements. And as you see with updates that are bigger, like Apex Survival, there's a huge amount of art that went into that. We had to make new plants, make new farming versions of those plants. And then like, there's just a lot that goes into that. So if we allocate resources for that, it means something else has to be smaller. So we have to figure out what are we going to trade and trade off and make for those things. I don't think that it's out of the realm, but if we are going to continue on our path of delivering quality updates that are focused and have really good, meaningful gameplay impacts, we need to be careful with that.
Yeah. I'm going to break this quickly to show the door opening.
Oh.
You ready? So another big shout
Oh,
out to apologies here. You saw this in the trailer. Are you guys ready for this? In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Give it a second. You can see unlocking.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, there's so many things that are folding out. Look at this. That is a special door right there.
Yeah, for
Yes, it
me,
is.
this is a dream come true because, 10 or more, actually 12 years ago, I was just imagining that something like this would be possible in space engineers
Yeah.
and these complex machineries, and
We're going to close it again. It looks so good.
it's amazing.
Wow.
But there's just so many bits that covers up. Like, it's crazy.
Could we even try piloting the ship inside it? Because I know the landing gears.
Oh yeah, we're
magnetize.
gonna do that. Oh yeah, we will do that. I'm gonna just get closer because there's like little hatches that open that you don't always see.
I'm continuing to have a look through your questions,
Here we
guys,
go.
as you post them.
Sorry
as well.
for a quick distraction. I'll continue in the background here, but I had to draw. Look at that. So it unlocks those. This pops up, and then this even like suddenly, these platforms here reveal the hinges so that it can fold up. That is just absolute magic. So beautiful, beautiful. So I'll pilot the ship inside, and we'll take a look at the automated docking sequence that it has here as well.
So
with these
there's
awesome
also another
landing
good
gears.
question here as well. So it says, will we see broader use of more content creators for preview in the future? Yes. If you're a content creator and you're interested in this, get in contact with us. You obviously email us through the community email or the press email, and we can have a look at your channel. We can have a talk to you about it, and we might be able to get you into the previews. Of course, now it's a little bit too late to get you into previews for Space Engineers 2 because that program's already planned. But if you are a content creator and you are interested, reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. We'd love working with the creators in our community.
For sure, no, and they're doing great work. Honestly,
Yep, all these previews flying out, spectacular.
So we have the new suspended flight seat here, and it's been set up on a rotor. So when I jump into it, if I jump, automatically spinning into position, that I can now fly. Oh, I'm in the wrong seat. I think. Hold up. I'm in the wrong seat.
Do we want to take the odd SE2 question, because I think we've been really well behaved and we've done a lot of SE. I mean, we can keep going for the Space Engineers 1 questions and we save more SE2 for the end.
How about if we take, like, let's say 3 SE2 questions, and then go back to SE1, out of the respect for SE1 and SE1 team.
Yep. So one of the quick SE2 questions that we had, since planets is coming on the horizon, what size of planets are players sort of expecting to get their hands on? Because we've discussed it. There's there's a lot of experimentation going on with the size, and some of the planets you decided to up the scale of as well.
So I think the size or the radius of the planet is the same as in SE1. And again, I always forget these numbers, but I think it's like 60 kilometers radius or something like that. And which, like some people can say that they are small or so, but I don't think they feel small, when you're on the planet and building something. Like, you can get lost. Like, it's just kilometers and square kilometers, where you can build, and actually not just square kilometers, because it's volumetric, right? So there are caves, and you can build tunnels and do these kind of things. So I think for the practical purposes, the planets are very big.
Because we even saw in the previews, like, YouTubers were saying, oh, let's look at that over there. And then they took 10 minutes to get there. Then they got distracted by caves and other, features of the planet on the way. So yeah, the planets feel massive, especially when you're flying. Yes, your speed is increased, and you can navigate around the planet. I'd say easier, but still there's enough distractions on that planet to keep you very, very busy. And of course, from space, they look beautiful. One of the things we were discussing recently is making sure that the planets look nice and smooth and rounded.
Yeah. That's a special feature we called flattening. So they look, rounded when you are watching them from orbit or from space. And by the way, what's different on the planets between SE1 and SE2? So in SE2, the height map is much more detailed than in SE1. In SE1, I think it was that for one height map pixel or texel, you got maybe like every 30 meters. So and now it's much less. Plus there is terrain detail map that is adding some kind of extra noise and detail everywhere. Then we have the boulders, and we have this kind of like vertical walls. So the mountains are not just some kind of height map surfaces anymore, but they can have overhangs, and of course the caves that I mentioned. So that's that. And
We could jump back to another Space Engineers. Space Engineers one question for Ryan here, and this is a question when I joined the team I actually asked, and I said, "Oh, will we ever bring in a shotgun to Space Engineers 1?" But that shotgun wasn't actually for Space Engineers 1, was it, Ryan?
No, it's from an older project.
So there you go.
Yeah, like
But-
I mean, there's always some mysteries at Keen. There's experiments here and there. We had some fun. I mean, that was some time ago. That was probably 2015. Do you remember, Marek? Remember all the weapons, the shotgun that we made for the project?
maybe that was for the VR.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm not sure how much the community knows about that. But but still, it was an experiment, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that we didn't really talk about it. But obviously with VR, I'll say this: like everyone at Keen loves VR. I know you're a massive fan of VR, and I think we get VR questions for SE1 and SE2 all the time. And I imagine in the future it still would make sense. I think it was always just about like how many players would actually be able to make use of that feature, right? But yeah, so people at VR.
Oh yeah. You've added to the story now.
No, I had to.
You've layered on top of the shotgun.
It was like 10 years ago. It was literally not 10. No, it was like a long time ago. But yeah, we definitely obviously we had the dev kits and we were experimenting with that, and there was some cool things we did.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I think we'll look on VR again sometime in the future when other more important things will be finished.
And there's been several, community kind of projects to do VR. And I know even recently there was one, right? So there's some good VR stuff out there. And I think, am I tripping? Was it for SE2?
Yeah, that's SE2. One of our colleagues, in his free time, he made a mod. So, and I think he will be releasing it at some point soon. And so, of course, it's unofficial mod. It's not Keen made, but you will be able to experience VR in Space Engineers 2. So.
No. An additional question that's asked is, will they be able to meet more of our team members in live streams? And of course, we've already met a few, haven't we already? But perhaps in the future we can bring some more people on, perhaps from QA, and kind of give their feelings and what's happened and what they've been working on, what have been the priorities of updates. So yeah, we could definitely bring it on. Of course, if they're feeling comfortable coming, and having a chat with us as well.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like, honestly, I think there's a lot of people, I think at least 10% of our company came from the community, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of very passionate people that really, we read what you guys say, we look at what you're doing, and we also play the game, and we love it for that. And I think we could have some great conversations with that.
There's some questions about the HOTAS. I mean, the HOTAS, the controller scheme. And I think, again, obviously today marks the first implementation of joystick support in Space Engineers, but there will be expanded options for joysticks and customized mappings and so on. We have touched on that. So I appreciate that your joysticks might not be fully supported, the ones that you have right now, but give the guys a bit more time and you definitely will be able to do kind of more of what you want to do, I think.
Okay. Of course, there's tons of questions about individual feature requests, like players want to see caterpillar tracks and hover engines and things like this. So I'm trying to avoid these questions, but I know there is tons of them, and they're very specific to what sort of Space Engineers area that you want to explore. There was a question probably for Ryan as well about updating stations. In this future update that's coming, is like could we maybe hint at is it just going to be a visual upgrade? Is it going to be upgrade to how they function? Like, can we give them any little hints there? Because I know they're digging for it and they'd love it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on. We want to make stations important and good infrastructure. So yeah, it's not just cosmetic. We're gonna have some good stuff coming your way.
There you go. There you've heard it.
Oh shoot! What did I just do?
What? You dig? You went under the ground into the base.
Wait a second. No, I'm good. I'm good. I thought I teleported the station, but where am I right now? I'm fine. I'm fine. I thought I teleported the base like into the asteroid. It's fine.
So a question that keeps getting repeated as well is when it comes to planet modding with VS2, will they have access to planet modding, or is that something that we'll discuss this week?
I don't remember exactly like this specific thing, but what we discussed with the team is that now the priority was to finish VS2, and then we can look on the modding in the next step. But also remember that I discussed with the artists that they will update some of the modding guidelines. So maybe, they will be also updating modding guidelines for the planets, but I don't remember from top of my head. But again, right now the priority was just to get VS2 done and to do or to look on modding or extend the modding support later. But in general, how to say it? Like, we don't need to add modding support for each new feature because it's all data driven. So in the editor, you can be modding, without us actually having to manually implement every new feature for the modding. So it's mainly about the guidelines, and as I said, they will be updating the guidelines.
Yeah, so as we introduce new features, there'll be new tutorials added. Like we've done already, we released a little tutorial series with the mod SDK, so you guys could get stuck in and you could follow them tutorials to build characters, build blocks, obviously use the destruction system. So just stay tuned, and we'll release some more tutorials in the future, especially past when Planets has been released as well. We'll see what we can do to make the information as available and as clear to you as possible. So another question that I saw pop up here was about the addition of rotors and other blocks, mechanical blocks, let's say, to the VS2 future roadmap. So we saw that these blocks were added. Is there anything we can touch on them? Because a lot of players didn't see mechanical blocks of any nature, and then suddenly they were on the roadmap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they will be worked on in VS 2.2, which will be released after VS2. And some team members are already working on VS 2.2. So maybe actually somebody's already working on rotors or pistons. And unofficially, I think they are already in the game because there was this mod, like no rotor and no piston.
Yeah, we've seen them. Yeah, players.
And again, this is because of the data-driven architecture that we have. That they were able to enable it because those components were already implemented 2 or 3 years ago by somebody. But again, it's not officially supported, so there can be some edge cases and issues and so on. So again, rotors, pistons will be in VS 2.2, which will be released a few months after VS2.
Because what I also thought might be good as well is I know we also had some questions for the community, or the community watching this as well. And now that they've been living with farming and some of these changes we've made, it'd be really nice to hear, like, are you turning these farming settings on? Are you using these additional features that we've given you in recent updates? How are you feeling about the way that Space Engineers 1 is being shaped? Is there anything you'd like to ask Ryan to the community about how they've been getting on with some of the changes that they've made, some of the feedback maybe you've heard and the team have taken on board? Is there anything that you've heard them calling for, apart from the free bed, of course?
Right. I mean, I think that's a lot of what this update was, especially with the time frame and the speed in which we produced it. We wanted to make sure that those things were heard and listened. There's been so many elements recently that came about because of it. So I don't know. I think if I have anything to say about it, it's just like continue to submit support site tickets and continue to reach out to us, because we're actively reading, we're actively listening. We want to make sure that those things are addressed for you. So I don't have anything super specific. I would love to see if in chat anybody wants to say, what their favorite elements of those are, what they want to see more of, if they want to see, especially for Apex Survival, like elements like radiation. Would you want more expansions of things like that, more expansions of hazards, stuff like that? But also just like economy. If there's something that you really would love to see for economy, this is probably the moment to really shout and get people on board and start putting.
You're going to get them going now. You're going to get them going.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the moment, right? We want to know what you want to see. We think we have good ideas. We think we have a good finger on the pulse. But like we never stop listening. So don't stop shouting.
And of course, when Ryan says this is the moment, we're not just talking about here on the live stream. You can obviously submit it as a feedback ticket, and we can read through your idea. And of course, jump on the Discord, discuss it with other players, because one idea, needs a bit of fleshing out, you get some other community members involved, and next minute you've got a really solid sort of idea to submit as feedback, and the team can take it quite seriously, especially if there's a number of players on board with it. Because I'll also just quickly switch this as well to America. Is there anything you want to ask the community about how they're getting along with Space Engineers 1? Like for instance, with the addition of food, is that like a feature you'd ever see? Well, you ever thought when you originally designed Space Engineers, like it would be something that you'd implement?
Yeah, of course, we considered it. Then for some time we didn't want to have the food in Space Engineers because of I was afraid that basically it will take the focus and attention from engineering and building. That was the thing. And like for some time I even had this design principle or vision, which was about the game is about what you build. It's not about your character or your body.
Yeah.
So that's that. But also it's nothing against nothing, and engineering, the farming, I think is a natural extension of Space Engineers. So it's okay.
Okay.
So I'm just showing off these beautiful features of this ship here.
Yeah.
All this
Amazing.
mechanical beauty here. Folding away.
I know we're getting plenty. There's been a number of questions about more hand weapons in the future. Like, is there anything we can hint at, in terms of a block, not a block, but block ideas that have been passed around? And we can obviously, we can state here that, it's subject to change, and, blocks that we say here might not happen. But from the player feedback, is there anything we can hint at, Ryan, from this economy update?
I mean, right, if we're just dreaming, we're just dreaming.
Yeah, let's just say
thinking
we're
what's
dreaming.
cool. I'm not saying anything, right? But I immediately after Apex Survival came out, I saw people asking for and talking about weapons and like warheads that didn't do damage, but like cast radiation, right? And stuff like that, like elements that could be just like really cool, kind of sci-fi-ish. But we're always trying to keep SE sort of grounded in like a hard sci-fi, sort of realistic, like I can see where that is in 2077. It didn't just come out with like laser beams, but there's lots of cool elements like that I thought were really interesting to consider. Stuff where there's radiation side effects, or even like EMP type stuff people were talking about. So there's lots of cool ideas there for sure. I think we could expand those things at some point if we wanted to, or modders could, because now we have that ability. And as far as like hand weapons go, that's another one. Like we were talking about that shotgun a moment ago, and there are still lots of opportunities to probably do things like that are cool. I'm always for giving the players like more character stuff and things to manipulate with their hands. I think that's super cool.
No, because they have brought up one question that's really good, and I know as soon as I mention this, it might kick things off here. But they've asked, is it possible to use flares and fireworks like decoys? Because we saw it in the trailer, as that ship comes out, it pops them fireworks, them decoys. Is that something, that, because I've seen it submitted in some feedback, like something down the line perhaps, or no plans for the future just yet?
I mean, there's no real plans for it, but it's also like the way that we've been setting everything up is that, like, even we're saying like we're getting to economy as like the final part of looping the system in, but I don't think that any of these are necessarily done. And as long as we're capable of continue to push SE forward and have these things available, we're setting up frameworks that not only modders can use, but we can use, and things that we can push forward too. So I think there's lots of room there where we could keep expanding and making various elements just bigger and better and deeper.
Okay. I was just getting some feedback saying one of the worlds that does feature some of the stuff that you see in the trailer tonight is not uploaded just yet, but I do believe the ship is up there at the minute. Let me jump back to questions.
A nice rest for the night, Aaron, on the free bed.
Oh, look at that.
With a definitely not radiating jump drive right behind your head.
So it'd be interesting. Can you get radiated in the bed, Ryan?
Yeah.
There you go.
Not safe.
It's not a safe sleep
not
at all.
Not a safe spot. Yeah.
It's so funny to me. One of the things that's always, because you can build and do whatever you want. It's always funny to me the people who are so casual about stuff like this, or they put like, my cryopod is here and it's piping air through a nuclear reactor, and you're like, whatever, dude. I guess that's what you're doing. To each his own. With
I've been so locked out.
Right?
Oh man. Good job, all the questions though, guys.
There's some
engaged.
questions. There's some questions in here that like I see people are asking about airtight voxels, like and stuff like this, and these are like dream questions. And I look at them and go, should we ask them? And the answer will be, oh well, we've not got any plans just yet. That's kind of the one to go. So I've been trying to really hit the questions where we'll either have some sort of answer or we can allude to something or whatnot. I'm just having a scan through.
See,
There we go. Can we get nuclear propulsion engines in the future? See, this is what I mean about the it's the questions of maybe you never know.
Yeah. Again, going back to like what I had said earlier too, though, whatever we focus on, like we're trying to keep things focused. Like we're focusing on economy next, right? We're focused. So if when it comes down to it, like we could do that, but if we do it right now, we're taking away from something else probably. So we want to make sure that we're always keeping it on track. But I'm all for so many of the cool ideas flying through chat. Like there's some really cool things going on for sure.
I know you're talking about this comment, Ryan. Is Ryan bribable for future SE1 content? What is his poison? He's like, oh, there's some great ideas in the chat.
Yeah,
I take
there
Ryan.
are.
It's actually interesting corruption angle I never thought about.
Yeah.
That somebody would try to corrupt our team members.
Oh yeah.
I never thought about this because you would think about other things, right?
They're like, they say like Ryan.
There'd be signs. You'd see him in a Ferrari or something, and you'd know they've got to it.
Nuclear thrusters, you say? We'll see.
Ryan GoFundMe. Yeah.
No, don't do this. This is actually going to become a thing if we encourage it.
What would Ryan reveal for $5?
But at the end of the day, the thing that I'm most happy about and the thing that I enjoy the most is like when we release an update and there's something in it for everybody. If it's just your special thing, it's not going to be what it should be, right? And SE I think we've done a really good job recently, especially with this update, particularly giving everybody something to engage with, something like even when we asked what block is your favorite, it was just like a smattering of different things. And so, yeah, I mean, we have to keep that focus. We want to make sure that everybody's getting a fun time. For sure.
And luckily we do that with every update. There's always something for everybody. Like maybe the whole update isn't like totally a vibe. Like I know, for example, combat was huge for a lot of people, but there were players who didn't want nothing to do with combat. But it was fine because those updates still had like lots of amazing features and blocks that they could use for more peaceful things, just as an example.
Now there is a question we probably can answer here that's just popped up as well. Sorry to interrupt. Are we going to be getting some more spacesuits in the future? So some more skins for the suits. I feel like maybe we could answer that one. What do we think, Ryan? Can we hint? Can we? They're begging for some answers here.
There's definitely some strong possibilities.
That's the sort
I love
of
that answer.
that's the
a
answer.
good one. Yeah, that's good. All right.
Sorry for putting you on the spot there.
This one's really good actually. This is a big one. It's hilarious that it's as big as it is, but inventory full, it will no longer spam you. If your inventory is full, it's going to tell you once. One and done.
No. I need that though. I need it to tell me because I just grind and things just keep falling loose.
It will tell you, but it won't be like inventory full. It's not going to loop indefinitely. I think that's actually one that a lot of people will be like, thank goodness, especially when you're dealing with prototech stuff.
Yeah. See here. So I think, guys, we'll start to bring today's stream to a close because we got a lot of streams coming. Like, we'll be back here next week. It's going to be next week's going to be probably even possibly long. Well, I think even longer. I think because there's a lot to get through
with a ton.
With VS2. So I say definitely thanks everyone for tuning in today, and thanks for answering all the questions. And I appreciate to the whole team, Aaron, Marek, and Ryan for being here, presenting these amazing new features and improvements. And it's been a solid stream. So let's just see as well.
Should we? Let me know, and I'll cover the final wrap-up points as well. So we've covered everything.
All right, take it away.
Yeah. So of course we want to see you using your joystick. Using these new blocks. So make sure you use that hashtag Space Engineers. Post it on social media, and show other creators. Get involved with our community, of course, on Discord there as well. And the most important part of this stream as well is make sure you're tuned in next Monday, December the 1st. For the release of VS2. And of course, on top of all this, keep providing your feedback. We want to hear from you. We're always interacting in the comment section. Marek's always busy talking to everyone, that's posting in the blog post below and getting your feedback and ideas. And every now and then, I mean, the latest blog post was talking about, what good AI we're up to as well. So there's always interesting takes from, different angles going on there as well to check out. But overall, just, thank you guys for your continued support, and stay tuned for what we've got next.
Perfect. I think that's did a pretty good one there.
Yeah.
Clear
I was wondering if I'd missed anything and you were going to cover it.
We can go say some final words here. How about Ryan? What's up, dude? Final thoughts of today's stream or for the community?
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Like, obviously, we're trying to listen. We're trying to make sure everything is exactly what you want, and we deliver exciting experiences. And thank you so much for being here, for supporting us, for allowing us to continue to push SE1 forward. Without you guys buying these DLCs and engaging with us and talking and playing the game, we wouldn't be able to do that. So, like, deeply, deeply thank you. 12 years is insane, and we're everybody on the team is so grateful that we're about to push into a 13th.
Wow. Still thriving, and
absolutely,
it's incredible. It really is. I think, Ryan, have you been playing as well since 2013, or did you join a little later?
I was about a year before Planet, so I think it was 2014? 2014, yeah.
And he's still playing, still got his very hardcore
still
server.
Going, still hardcore, yeah, that's it. How about you guys in the chat tonight? How long you guys, let's see. I mean, I know we've obviously picked up many new engineers over the years. I would love to hear, we'd love to hear how long you've been playing Space Engineers.
I'd love to hear how they got into it as well. Maybe that's something we can do another time, find out how these players got into Space Engineers. Was it a content creator out there? Was it a particular update that piqued your interest? Was it one of Marek's blog posts, for instance? Something we can find out in the future.
Oh man, yeah, seeing there's some old timers here for sure. Awesome. Very, very cool. All right. Hey, Phoenix, good to see you, Phoenix. How you doing, man? Since pre-release? Ooh. Amazing. Well, guys, I say thank you so much. I'll also just echo thanks to the whole team. It's another incredible update, and I say there's obviously going to be monitoring and the feedback, and there'll probably be some hot fixes in the coming days here. And that's why we release on Mondays, so we can get them out before the weekend week's up. And I say I hand it to Marek. Marek, final thoughts for today's stream, and just, I guess, general vibe going into this next 30 days of stuff for Space Engineers.
Yeah, so thanks to SE1 team, to everybody there who made this update possible, and also the previous updates. It's really amazing. And also thanks to everyone who is playing the game and supporting the game by buying the DLCs. And thanks to all the content creators and YouTubers who are, feeling it or fueling it and spreading the word and showing what new cool stuff can be made in Space Engineers. So thanks, and I'm looking forward to the next update, which will be the economy 209 in a couple of months.
It's a big one. It's definitely going to be a big one.
Be ready, though, for next week.
Next week,
December the 1st, for VS2.
Planets. Oh, we're good together.
Oh, we're good.
Planets
and Survival Foundations.
It was nearly perfect time.
Yeah,
we off. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I know we've just been really enjoying watching the previews from the VS2 previews that players have been doing. So yeah, it's.
I just love how distracted they get when they're wandering around. But they see one thing, like, oh, what's that? Oh, cave.
I know.
Wow.
I know it's going to be good. So we'll see you guys literally in a week's time, and it's going to be amazing. So in the meantime, get stuck in with Space Engineers, SE1, brand new update. We love to see all the builds. I say Aaron's already kind of covered the main hashtags and stuff. So definitely share how you guys find the new update. And yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
And we'll play the trailer one more time because the trailer is amazing. So enjoy the trailer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're out. Bye.